Remember, too, that reinvention isn't just for special people. It's for anyone willing to believe in possibility. And I truly believe in what George Eliot said, it's never too late to be what you might have been. So if you're thinking, well, it's too late for me, remind yourself that it's never too late, ever.
Welcome to This Empty Nest Life. Join Jay Ramsden as he leads you on a transformative journey through the uncharted seas of midlife and empty nesting. If you're ready to embark on this new adventure and redefine your future, you're in the right place. Here's your host, the Empty Nest Coach, Jay Ramsden.
Hey there, my Empty Nest friends. Today, we're going to explore how to navigate life's big transitions. And if you're already empty nesting, you know it's a huge life transition. With a dash of mindset, a handful of courage, and a whole lot of reinvention, we might be able to change that for you. Here's a simple but powerful idea I want to share with you today. Life transitions require us to focus on the who before the how. I know. What does that even mean, right? Well, it's how we go about working on understanding ourselves first, our beliefs, our identity, our emotions, so we can move forward with some clarity and confidence in this next chapter of our lives. Whether you're facing an empty nest, a divorce, a new job, or any other life change, today's episode is designed to remind you that real transformation starts from within. You can't look externally, not for validation or help or support, because the truth is, life doesn't pause for us to get our act together. It pushes us to grow into new chapters of ourselves, new versions of ourselves, if we're willing to do the inner work. So let's explore how to do just that. You ready? Let's go. So in this first step, we're going to start with a story, maybe something that's relatable. I want you to meet Lisa. She's in her mid-40s, a mother of 3, whose kids just left for college. And suddenly, her house feels empty. Seriously silent. She finds herself binge-watching Netflix, thinking, this is what my life has become? Now, Lisa's feelings are common. She's experiencing a huge mix of emotions, grief and guilt, fear, maybe even a little bit of excitement, like starting a brand new chapter, but also feeling a little unsure of what that looks like for her. Does that sound familiar? It just might be exactly what you've been experiencing, or perhaps what you might be experiencing this fall if you're a new empty nester. If so, let's take a moment to pause for some reflection. What emotions are you experiencing as you face your own transition? Take a moment to consider, how does it feel inside of you? What stories are you telling yourself about this change? I know from my own experience and journey that we can tell some pretty whopping stories about the changes we face in life. And so often it's not true, but rather the thoughts we're thinking about the change. Here's some insight. Our emotional reactions are messages from our inner world. They tell us what our stories we're holding on to. Now ask yourself, what stories are you telling yourself that may be limiting yourself right now? For Lisa, it was probably, hey, I'm lost without my kids, or I'm just a part-time mom now. But here's the key. Your mindset totally shapes your experience. Carol Dweck reminds us that a fixed mindset keeps us stuck in the story of, well, I'm only this. While a growth mindset, well, that opens the door to possibility. Asking, who can I become in this next chapter? And sometimes humor helps. Lisa may joke, maybe I should start a Netflix series called Who Am I Now? And that's a pretty light way to acknowledge her feelings, but underneath, she's asking herself the big question. Who am I now beyond this role of parent? So we start to look at the who, and here's the real secret. Before you move outward into what to do next, you need to do the inner work. You need to do your who work. Now imagine John. He's in his late 50s. He's newly laid off. His story, I'm too old to start over. And he's convinced maybe his best days are behind him. What stories would John be holding on to? What stories are you holding on to that may be keeping you stuck? Write down or think about those beliefs and how they're shaping your current experience. Are they true? Or are they just stories you've been telling yourself? Now, here's a game changer. Mel Robbins, author of Let Them, says, let them see you brave. This teaches us that small, deliberate actions like Mel's 5-second rule can dramatically shift your mindset. Instead of saying in the idea of I can't, John could start saying, maybe I can try. So ask yourself, what's one small step you can take today to feel more in control of your own story? It could be making a phone call or journaling a new belief or simply saying, I'm capable of change. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And here's the key. You have to be vulnerable in this journey. John admits, I'm scared to fail, but he still pushes forward. And that honest acknowledgement is what makes his growth possible. It's what will make your growth possible as well. And let's remember, as much as we focus on the what, the who must come first. Because a mindset rooted in possibility turns every failure into lessons. Sometimes we joke about being Netflix connoisseurs during tough times. I know I do. And that's okay. But if you're ready to step into a new story, one where you are the main character, here's space to start thinking about what your next move might be. Think of it as upgrading from binge watcher to the director of your own life movie. What would your lifetime movie be? There's possibilities here. There's possibility for reinvention. Of course, once you've done the emotional and mindset work, the who work, it's time to explore the exciting what's next, the reinvention part. So meet Susan. Susan is in her late 50s. She's recently divorced. Her kids are grown, and her days, well, they felt like a quiet routine that she no longer wanted to hold on to. Instead of dwelling on what she lost, Susan decided to pursue a passion she had shelved years ago, painting. She bought a few supplies, she experimented with watercolors, shared her work online, and entered into a local art show. Her story? Well, she's reinventing herself, discovering new talents, new passions, and a new identity. Now take a moment to pause and reflect on your own journey. What new passions or interests might you want to emerge? Even a small step, scheduling 10 minutes a day to explore, can set you on a whole new path. In fact, setting tiny, achievable goals makes reinvention manageable. I believe celebrating progress, not perfection, is super important. If you want to listen more on that, go to listen to episode 13. It's called Progress, Not Perfection. You can learn a lot there. Remember, too, that reinvention isn't just for special people. It's for anyone willing to believe in possibility. And I truly believe in what George Eliot said, it's never too late to be what you might have been. So if you're thinking, well, it's too late for me, remind yourself that it's never too late, ever. So today, I want to invite you into some action. I want to leave you with two very powerful items. The first is a question. Who do I want to be in this new chapter? And here are some prompts to help you work that out. What beliefs about yourself may no longer serve you? What beliefs or stories are you ready to rewrite? What small, brave step can you take towards this new person in this new chapter in life? And what's one thing you can do today that aligns with the person you want to become? Remember, change begins from within. When you focus on the who before the how, it becomes clearer, more natural, more achievable. And if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, that's a really good sign because growth starts at the edge of our comfort zones. Second, I've created a free downloadable for you to help with this episode. You can grab it from bit.ly/who before how. So as we wrap up today's episode, I want you to hold on to this. Your transition, whatever it may be, is the perfect opportunity to reinvent yourself, to rediscover the parts of you that have been waiting to come alive. Focus first on the who, your beliefs, your identity, your story, and the how, well, that'll start to fall into place. And remember, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. Buddha. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I hope you leave here feeling maybe a little inspired and equipped and ready to take that next brave step. And until next time, keep moving forward because your best self is waiting just on the other side of this transition.
Are you ready to start living and enjoying your empty nest years? If so, head over to jasonramsden.com and click Work with Me to get the conversation started. This Empty Nest Life is a production of Impact One Media, LLC, all rights reserved.